Monitor your credit score. Find out how you can cut your monthly bill.
See here.
Take the challenge at ProseccoTC.com. We're going to need.
That's not going to do it.
We don't have that kind
I
of.
got to find them. Way to make this chat larger. I know. Dog showed me how to do this. I'll be damned if I can figure it out. So, anyway, here I am.
Here's what we know
And
about where the impeachment of
I can't for the life of me figure out how to do this shit.
Pelosi is preparing to send the articles to the Senate next week after stalemate that began the week before Christmas.
That doesn't
but
do
even
it.
if that happens, this trial might not start
I don't know.
until
Anyway,
January 24th.
I'll just try to get by.
Yeah.
See if I can read you.
It looks like Democrats will get nothing. They're delaying. Republicans
welcome aboard.
Now says
It's. I thought I turned this off.
For the House and the President.
There. Now I can hear me. Wait a minute. There we go. Now, it's like I said, it's Saturday once again. I made a few notes, but not a lot. Mostly what I want to talk about is the environment. Planet's going to hell again, as we know. Australia's ablaze. As of Tuesday, over 800 million dead animals there. I'm sure it's over 1 billion by now. This is a fucking disaster. I mean, seriously. And there are still people out there denying that this is global warming that's causing this climate change. This is fucking nuts. I mean, there are people actually out there saying that none of this shit that's happening has anything to do with climate change. But welcome aboard. And I mean, it's nonsense. I mean, all I have to do is look around. Wait, I got some kind of bullshit popping up here. The day before yesterday, it was in the 20s. Yesterday, it was in the 50s. Today, it's in the 20s again. This is fucking ridiculous. This is Illinois in January. We're supposed to be like 10 above with 2 feet of snow on the ground. Okay. Hey, dog, how you doing? Is it 420? Oh, fuck. I like this sucker. I know I'm running a little late today. I'm a little frazzled. Closed the bar again last night. I got stuff on that. When Courtney's working, I like to keep her company because you don't know what kind of weirdos might show up late at night other than me. Deborah, welcome aboard. Reasons, welcome aboard. Happy 421. Running late. Oh my goodness. Shame on me. First one today. So take and do something about all this climate shit. You know, I was reading this morning, we used to talk about hole in ozone. And we closed that up. Believe it or not. I forget what it was. It was a Canadian Accord, I believe, at that time. Was it the Montreal Accord or something? And we stopped using Freon and in our refrigerators and our air conditioners. And as a result of not releasing Freon in the atmosphere, we actually closed up the hole in the ozone and saved our asses. And we replaced it with another refrigerant that didn't affect the ozone. And we thought that made everything all better. But it turns out that this refrigerant is even more harmful to our atmosphere than carbon dioxide. So now we got to be careful about releasing it. So it's a lose-lose situation no matter what the fuck we do. So I actually had to put a reminder on my calendar. You're a dingbat. Oh, you're not a dingbat. I'm glad you made it, though. All of you. Highness, that's what it is. Your Highness. Things are sad. And ice is melting all over the place. However, there are some bright spots. Denmark, for example, 47% of their electrical power came from wind last year. Mother Nature, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Glad to see you came at such an opportune time. Then you got this asshole in the Oval Office, his kids going around saying, oh, Australians are setting all those fires. This has nothing to do with climate change. The fucker's an idiot, okay? He's as big an idiot as his father. But yeah, this whole climate change thing, something's got to be done. We got to do it. We saved ourselves from the fucking ozone. We can save ourselves from this as long as we stop this fucker that's in the Oval Office. Okay. This man is destroying our environment. One law after another that he repeals destroys us. He's attacking our environment at every turn, and it can't continue. Back to the war. So Iran shot down an airplane and has taken credit for that and apologized for the mistake. And I think it's Trump who should be doing the apologizing here. Okay, there are 176 dead civilians because this man started a war. What's this? Things are so bad that it makes me happy. Happy that things get so bad that everyone must know by now. And so now we finally fixing of things. I would hope that's what happens. We'll see what happens, Seeker. Although in watching the news this morning, there seemed to be a number of Republicans in the Senate who want witnesses. And they aren't going to let this thing just slide by. Okay. They're not going to let this impeachment just zip on by. And like I said, you can't blame anybody but Trump for these 176 dead people. Okay. He'll be his own messiah. Yeah. Well, fine. He can be his own follower too. Honestly, dog. He can be his own follower, be his own leader and his own follower. I'd be totally okay with that. All right. His kid can chase around after him, both of them, or however many he's got, even the one he forgot about, you know. Earnestly, I see much in the activity of our people to feel confident that an actionable number of dogs have awoken from among the sheep. I certainly hope so. Along with his enablers. Yes. Well, there's actually talk of secession uh, uh, in the news. Okay. States considering seceding from the Union. Okay. Just had enough. Okay. So that's I find that humorous. New York being one of them, by the way. They're just too progressive for the country, and they want out. So, and I could see where that's the case. I mean, they've just recently abolished cash bail. Okay? Because just because you can't afford bail, you shouldn't be locked up. I mean, you're guilty until proven innocent. But here you sit in jail because they want money from you to guarantee that you won't run away. California has started doing that. Well, they should do it. Okay, more states should do it. Illinois should do it. Makes a lot of sense. You shouldn't be punished just because you're poor. I mean, they have to sit in jail to await your trial, where you might ultimately end up sitting in jail. This doesn't seem fair to me. I mean, if you don't have the financial means to get yourself out of jail, chances are you don't have the financial means to fucking run away and not show up in court. You know, I mean, they're going to find you eventually. If you can't run away, they're going to find you eventually, and you'll end up in jail anyhow. So you're going to show up in court on your court date. If you don't, they're going to catch up with you, and you'll end up going to jail anyhow. So why do they have to? Why do they have to lock you up to guarantee you're going to be there? Just take your word for it. If your word is good enough, well, they're going to catch you and lock you up anyhow. Bullshit. Okay? You know, make you sign your fucking house over or some shit. That's bullshit. It's all bullshit. JetBlue plans to go carbon neutral by the end of the year. They means by which they will carbon balance uh, what they're expending. So we're led to become like a stock animal. I have to put my glasses on today. I'm sorry. I was up too late and my eyes are foggy. And I forgot to make the font bigger. I know Dog will give you shit about that later. Anyway, we are led to become like a stock animal, herded and kept for another's purpose, subsiding off the feedstock provided by master, free to roam the enclosed pasture. No one knows how to keep their word any longer. That's true. Technology is killing the outlaw. Okay, Deb, you get that. Keep trying to laptop closer to me so I can see the text. Yeah, you're right. Nobody keeps their word any longer. Hard thing to come by. I had a friend, past tense, because I asked him to keep one promise to me and one promise alone, and he didn't do it. And it was to stay off the crack pipe, and he didn't. It ended the friendship. He got back off the pipe and asked if he could be my friend again, and I told him no. I told him one of us had to be a man of their word, and he was real upset about that. But I just told him, I had to keep my word. He couldn't. I had to. So it's unfortunate. Uh, but I couldn't be around somebody like that. So, welcome aboard. So, well, it hurt though. It hurt to lose a friend. What are you going to do? You know, sometimes you just can't have people in your life. Well, yeah, I realize that addiction is a bit of an exception, but still, if you know, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't put myself through that another time. Not one more time in my life. Not at this stage of my life. I mean, this was just a few years ago. So, I mean, I've been through it so many times before with other people, and I just couldn't do it again. Our warriors right now experience blowback for that assassination. 3 people from among the Iranian population have been enraged ranks of those who fight U.S. soldiers. Yes, well, we're expelled. We've been expelled from the country. They want us gone. Secret, if they did that to us, it would be the same. On our side, we would be outraged. Well, absolutely, we'd be outraged. So, as well, the weed of the week this week, because I forgot to tell you what the weed of the week was. So I'm not going to forget this week. It's Luckleberries number 59, and it's 27.3% THC, and it's an indica dominant hybrid. So I just wanted to get that out there. Iran as a country can stand down, but another large pack of terrorists respond due to that action. Individuals among that population need just join one of many groups fighting this. Absolutely. I mean, these terrorist groups, there's small factions can rise up, not just in Iran, but in Iraq as well. Okay. I mean, this may have been an Iranian general, but it happened on Iraqi soil. Okay. Uh, this was an attack. This was an assault on 2 countries. Oh, you had this before, dog? This Luckleberries 59. I picked this up, I don't know, like a month ago. It's been sitting in my weed of the week bag for quite some time. I'm down to one though. I got enough for one more week. I haven't gone to the dispensary since they legalized it. Oh, by the way, folks, since they went recreational in Illinois, dispensaries are running out. So they're running out of flower for recreational use. I don't know what the situation is for medical use. So I think I'm going to go back to my usual dispensary and see what things are like. Give them another shot. What's happening there? I was going to switch to an all medical dispensary. I know dogs switching as well, but just for the selection's sake, and not have to deal with the recreational crowd. But, I don't know. I think I'm going to go back more and see what it's like over there. What's this secret? The U.S. told Iraq it will not discuss troop removal with them. What the fuck? So we have legitimately occupied their country and make decisions for them, which run counter to their will. Well, then it doesn't sound like we're legitimately occupying their country at all, now does it? Sounds like an illegitimate occupation to me. Okay. Now we're gonna withhold aid to the Ukraine because their country is being illegitimately occupied by Russia. Okay. And then we're going to illegitimately occupy Iraq. Okay. So we're no better than Russia at this point in time. Try at the dispensary. What is hell on the streets? Yes. Well, you're getting snow up your way though, right? We haven't been hit here yet. But it's exceedingly dark. I mean, it was exceedingly dark earlier. Now you would expect it to be dark, but earlier it was dark all afternoon. So normally when a place goes recreational, all the dispensaries run out. Well, see, Illinois has this stupid law where dispensaries can only sell what's grown in Illinois. And the license for these new outlets didn't occur soon enough for all this growing to be done in time to supply them all. So yes, it is illegitimate for sure. But we have actually occupied their nation and rule them in a very undemocratic way. Yay for snow? No, thank you. You don't have to shovel rain. Okay. So we're supposed to get several inches. I guess it is snowing here. I see there's some kind of slushy crap on the windshield of my car. Oh, you're quite welcome, Mother Nature. I do have my WoW story though. I haven't done my WoW story. You know, we have to inject a little humor in all of this. So there's I gotta talk about Don Gentry. I love it when judges fuck up. Okay. I had that story a few weeks ago about the judges that got shot in Indianapolis. They were leaving the strip club. Well, Gentry's a Kentucky family court judge who's on suspension right now, pending disciplinary action. She allegedly had a threesome at the courthouse with their former pastor boyfriend, who she hired to work in her office. And what he does in the office is he sits around and plays guitar and sings. And it's distracting the other employees. Although she didn't think it did. Okay, so but yeah, so she's been accused of having a threesome in the office with her former pastor boyfriend, guitar player, singer, and one of the other employees, another woman. And so she's on suspension pending disciplinary action for that, and for falsifying time cards, and for several of her employees. And, judges. And then we're going to let the Supreme Court decide Roe v. Wade. We're going to let them decide what a woman can do with her body. Even though there isn't a law in the land that tells a man what he can do with his body. Okay. We're going to let the Supreme Court decide what a woman can do with her body. There's some bullshit for you. So today is your 9-year anniversary. Became crippled 1/11/11. Ah, well, I don't know if I should wish you a happy anniversary. Excuse me, but my nose is running. And it's going to be loud, so. So I wanted to show you something last week, and I forgot. Dog and I, we went out and got this laptop, and we bought some WebRoot security software, and get this great big box here. Okay, and we opened it up, and much to our surprise, this was the security software. This piece of paper here. They had to put in this great big box. Let's kill a tree, folks. Okay. Just wanted to show you that. I couldn't find anything on here where it said it's made from recycled paper. So I looked for that on the box, but nope. So I don't really have anything else in the way of news. I just want to hang out. I just had to rant about some things. And, you know, losing all those animals in Australia. That's painful as shit. You know, a billion little critters. That hurts a lot. Hopefully, humanoids can become more resourceful. I believe that's one of the reasons for being a bit of a hoarder. Well, I think what we need is another Dark Ages. Okay. Uh, I think we have to go back to having nothing. Okay, and starting over again, and then maybe we'll appreciate what we have. And instead of abusing everything. Okay. I think that's what's necessary. I think there's just much. An ice age. Well, we're bringing it on. You know, we're bringing it on. Not an ice age. We're gonna turn this fucking planet to dust. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if that's reversible. I mean, look at what the Sahara used to. I mean, the Nile used to run along the pyramids. So, you know, the Nile Valley used to be lush and green. The local credit union I bank with is cool. When reopening an account, they gave me a big packet of glossy paper telling me how eco-friendly they have become. Yeah, there you go. It's just the sort of thing I'm talking about. You know, I go to the bank and I use the drive up, and I always tell them to give me my money and don't put it in an envelope. Or if they do put it in an envelope, I give it right back to them. I take the money out and I put the envelope back in the envelope. You know? I like to deal with a person directly. It's the sun changing, the rotation, tilt of the planet as well, more solar flares. Well, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. There's nothing we can do about it, I guess. I know you're a relatively new viewer, Mother Nature, but I tell individuals that I'm an atheist because hordes of atheists never went around telling people believe in nothing or we'll kill you, like religions have. And if there is anything that we should worship, it's the sun, because if it wasn't there, none of us would be either. So those are my points of view. So if I worship anything, it is the sun. Tell the sun we like last century's out. Yeah, I'd go back further than that even. Of course, I remember when tanning lotion had no sunblock in it. Okay, so you carry your own straw. They look at it. Yes, I know. My bestie carries her own straws, plural. So she always has one for me because I don't carry a purse. This has happened before. The planet is going through a new age. Indeed, you're right. It is, and it's always been cyclical. And you know, people talk about trying to save the planet. The planet's not going anywhere. You know, it's perfectly capable of saving itself. We just fucking leave it alone. You know, we're the ones fucking with it. That's the problem. Children of the sun. Yeah, you can't go out too long anymore without protection, you know. SPF 90. Remember RoboCop? Commercial on RoboCop? Or an SPF 90. How far in the future is that? Not much. Keep it up. Exactly. We're only killing ourselves. We're not killing the planet. We're killing us. Planet's not going anywhere. I mean, if there was life on Mars, as David Bowie pondered, uh, then where are they now? And look what it's like now. Mars is certainly still there. Yeah. Just like when you're gone, life goes on, you know. Start digging holes. It's time to move underground. Much better weather there anyway. There's no sun, and we wouldn't have the vitamin D. Can't live underground with flatulating dairy cattle. Need the sunshine. Yes, just yesterday I was surprised the city I was shopping in had recently outlawed plastic store bags. And to use a paper bag, we must pay cents each. That was a shocker. Yeah, well, that's why all those you see that people using reusable bags. But then I read about reusable bags and the dangers of using those, especially if you carry produce in them. Okay, you could be building up bacteria inside reusable bags. Mankind has a virus. Drinking straws here. Kim, welcome aboard. Many years ago, I was bringing bags into stores, and some stores eventually asked us not to. Wow, that would be nice to get into indoor vertical grows. They allow you to use backpack. It's a good idea. Talk about indoor vertical grows. When I was in the Netherlands, I saw some greenhouses there where they were growing tomatoes and bell peppers, perpetually growing plants, 35 feet tall. Talk about indoor vertical grows. They perpetually produce fruit. They didn't just grow us like a season and die off. They kept these plants growing perpetually. Now, so I don't see where, I don't know, feeding the populace should be that much of a problem. The Dutch are geniuses. Look how long they've been using wind power. That motivated some stores to leave all bags and packs outside the store. So bring your own bags. Didn't work. So now we try again. I want to use a backpack. Well, sometimes they make you leave it at the desk when you enter the store, and you can get it as you're leaving. Get it, when you're checking out. You're on the other side of the register. An article of false bottom bags being found with pricey steaks, etc. in them. Yeah, we have an old guy out here, lives out here, that cranky old fart. And, he and I feud because he hates it when I play the jukebox at the bar. He usually tells me to get fucked and walk out. Anyway, uh, he got he got caught a couple years ago, shoplifting lobster tails on Valentine's Day. So it was kind of funny. So I was daring people to call him that, like nickname him. Nobody had the nerve. Since he and I don't speak much, I wasn't going to do it myself. Oh, they're never going to. You're right. They're never going to prevent thievery. There's a will, there's a way. There'll always be crime. You can't stop crime. Ask McGruff. He'll tell you. Well, sure, because employees can see the easiest way to do it. They can carry it right out the door with them. They know all the ins and outs. They can get it past the boss a whole lot easier than anybody else. Past security. They know the security loopholes. Of course, if you're not a thief, I guess, you know, you have that going for you. If you're not a thief, you don't have to worry about it. This is actually some very nice weed. This one's getting a little harsh. So I'm getting down. I'm going to stop that one. You know what I do need to do, though, is I need to get something to drink. So if you'll excuse me for just a moment, I'm going to do just that. This will only take a minute. So all I had was a little bit of water there. Right back. So here we are. Conference free for a management job. Yeah. You know, someone allergic to something, and I've never been tested for allergies. So I suggest that it might be weed because it seems to be year round. So could be. How's your quitting smoking going down? Yeah. How's it going? Sucky, huh? ASMR. Hi, welcome aboard. For a brief time, I was a kid doing entry level store management. It was privy to thrifty drug corporation's way of doing things. Millions of dollars of loss from employee theft. I caught a few. Yeah, store management. Thrifty drugs. Nothing thrifty about drugs these days. Well, that's what's different. I took my glasses off. That's why I can't read anything. There you are. There's all the facts. Now it came back to me. Those three little dots, dog, they're not there. You know, the make them bigger ones, they're not there. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. Unless it's something else up here. Oh, that's too big. See how that is. Now it's gone. Shit. Oh, there it is. No, that's no good. Now the screen's too wide. I don't know what the fuck to do. It's all fucked up. There. Welcome back, Deborah. In fact, I was successful in my rebellion against wearing of the brown and tan polyester uniform of the time. Later did same against Pinkerton's poly uniform. No, I took care of the technical issues. I reverted back to whatever, because although when I made the text larger, I don't know, half of it disappears. So I just left it alone. Well, I'm glad you understand them, Deborah, because I don't. If I understood them, there wouldn't be a problem. If you catch my meaning. If I understood them, I can take care of them. But since I don't understand them, we'll just have to live with the text being the size it is. Am I wearing these glasses? Today, at least. It's not always the case. It's only when I stay out till whatever hour it was when I got home. I don't even remember. So, I mean, not that I was intoxicated. I came home in very good condition last night. Not like when I did fucked up tape I did some weeks ago or but they are open till 2 on Friday and Saturday nights, and I stuck on after closing till Courtney cleaned up, just to make sure no weirdos showed up other than me. So keep an eye on things, because their only other protection there would be Dawn, the manager, who who's skinny as a rail and weighs every bit of 90 pounds, I would think. I understand, Deborah. I have many issues as well, and they're not all technologically related. Before polyfibers were such. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Polyester. Yeah. They smelled like first poly worm and then ester worm, and then you got them. Yeah. So that's much more refreshing than an empty glass. So I guess even well, there was another story. And on my phone here. What is that now? Yeah, Trump's new environmental proposals are being objected to by his own science board. So, not surprising, I guess. At least not to me. They've been labeled trash by the EPA. So that was something else I wanted to mention. I forgot to make a note about it, but I wanted to add that to my my eco report. Just wanted to bring that up. You ever dye your beard? No, I don't, because with shaving and washing and everything, it'd wash out too fast. So, a bunch of overweight coworkers in the security and retail industry too. That and stinky poly and warm climate of Southern California was not good. I rebelled. I was a bit. They just wear white poly pants, white shitty bloody stained pants. Oh, gee. Good old days of polyester. Yeah. Hated that stuff. Yeah. Gotta run. Take care. See you, buds. Thanks for coming aboard. Rebellion was just to buy my own cotton versions of the same color, then insisted I be allowed to. I argued the case having stinky work facing the public, and then finally had to insight. Yeah. So that other was before anything could get done. Yeah, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous to put people in a position where you're gonna work up a sweat and then wear polyester. Makes no sense. You know? Just like uh, when I worked at the liquor control, guys had to wear shirts and ties and sport coats, and then go into taverns and be in filthy basements and such, go behind bars and handle dirty crap and and all this stuff. And uh, finally, we got the agents into uh, polo shirts. Made a lot more sense. Had the state seal on the front, good enough. You know, worked out great. Everybody was happy. No more neckties. That was ridiculous. You know, everybody looked like Elliot Ness, for Christ's sake. I mean, that was up until 1992. So, I mean, ridiculous. So, I was glad when that ended. So I had enough of that stuff. So, but that was, of course, that was about the time I became a supervisor. So as a field agent, it really didn't affect me. So again, I had to continue wearing a coat and tie. And I had the benefit of wearing a polo shirt for a couple of years. And because I could wear one when I was working in the field as a supervisor, but office meetings and that sort of thing was back in the coat and tie. So, but casual Fridays were cool. I had a lot of casual days because 2 out of 3 days a week I worked at home. Because for the 29 years I worked at the liquor commission, I worked out of my home, which was nice. There was no point in going to the office if you were going out to a bar, going out to inspect bars or respond to complaints. There was no point in going to the office first. The office was in the Chicago Loop, downtown Chicago. So if you lived in, say, Arlington Heights, your territory was in Arlington Heights vicinity, there's no point in going 25 miles downtown just to go out again. All the agents worked out of their homes. Your day started about 30 minutes or so before you left your house, whatever time of day that might be, depending upon what time your first stop was going to open for that day. And of course, you selected where you were going to go. You knew when that place might be open, generally around 11 or so. It's kind of a relaxed position to hold. You know, burns your cookies, an oven that's too hot. The huge lack of true customer service now. Oh, absolutely. Well, I personally stay out of stores. I avoid crowds. Healthier. So, I mean, that way, and then you don't have to deal with people. And that's so much less annoying, not having to deal with people. And I tend to go to the same restaurants, and they know me there, so I generally get the same servers. They treat me well. You tend to live longer if you don't deal with people or if you don't go into crowds. You're right. Um, Probably the most septic place during the holidays, other than stores, is church. Okay, because people go to church whether they're sick or not. Another good reason to be a non-believer. Hardly a cashier to be found in local Home Depot anymore. Oh, they force the self checkout. I detest that. I refuse to be an employee of a store. Within 3 miles. I wish I could say that. I have to go 6 miles for a carton of milk. And if I want to go to a serious store like a Home Depot or any kind of a large chain, I have to go 20 miles. So I'm 20 miles from any large town, and 6 miles from any small town. Okay. I'm 17 miles from my hospital. Exactly 17 miles. There's a sign outside my hospital. It says Custer Park, 17 miles. And it is 17 miles to my house from the hospital. So, now, the fire department is less than a mile. The house had burned down in 30 seconds. It's like a matchbox. So, no local place to buy lumber because they can't compete with big box store. So lumber must be sourced from them. But they suck royal. Nothing to do with them. I have a large Ace Hardware in the town 6 miles from here that sells lumber, but they're very expensive. Grew up in the national parks. You would love to live in the country. I love it out here. I love living in farm country, in a rural area. I have a very small piece of property. I'd say it's, I don't know, maybe a quarter acre. And I have 7 very old oak trees and, a couple other trees. I have a Bradford pear, Japanese maple, a couple other nondescript trees. So I have a nice shady little piece of property. Small home, what they call a country ranch, which is actually an old one-room building, probably from the late 1800s, that's been added on to about 4 times. Goes off in numerous different directions. So, but I like it. There isn't a square room in the house. That's what I like about it. I'm close to a small town with overpriced everything. 20 miles apart approximately from closest large town with larger stores. One pair of my grandparents worked for the Forest Service. It was fun as a child to live with them in the years when father was deployed away from home. I lived at Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon, Crater Lake National Park. Nice. I have to go help Bella. I'm so glad I finally got you live, Slippy. I'm so glad you did too. Thanks for coming aboard, Deborah. Yeah, we have a very nice state park. See, I'm right along the Kankakee River. I'm not on the river. I'm across the road from it, but I'm on the Kankakee River. And then there are homes across the road from me, and they're on the river. And then about 10 miles from here is the Kankakee River State Park. So there are hunting facilities along the river here for birds. And they hunt uh, pheasant and what else? There's a lot of deer hunting down here, and no duck. This isn't a duck area. Just pretty much pheasant and deer, and a lot of catfish in this river. So there are numerous lakes around here. A lot of them are old coal strip mine lakes that have been taken over by the county forest services and converted, to nice areas with boat launches and such. So it's pretty much of a fishing resort community. There are a lot of private clubs that you can join. members only places that people belong to nearby, and but then there are also lakes you can go to around here too. You can fish. There are several nuclear power plants in the area, and you can fish their cooling lakes if you dare. So they're stocked. Well, I mean, they're not stocked, but they're plenty of fish in their cooling lakes. I guess they've been stocked at one time, but they're loaded with fish. People fish them all the time. We have one, two. We have Dresden, Braidwood, and LaSalle nuclear power plants nearby. So one of them blows, SPLIFFY goes. You become a backcountry ranger, wildlife biologist, etc. Quit school for work. Later quit school. Quit society. Haven't been back to school. I would have loved that job. Yeah. Did you come back to society? That's the question. I miss the sound of river water. All the rivers are dry on the surface. The water is underground unless it is raining. Ah, it's a shame. Kankakee River is high. In fact, we're this weekend. There's a river flood warning in effect through this weekend, which is extremely rare for this time of year. I used to play with wild critters. You're a mountain girl. That's good to hear. One goes, SPLIFFY glows. Yes, exactly. I lived in the city growing up, but I had a great aunt and uncle who moved to Southern Illinois when they retired, and they bought an old schoolhouse, a one-room schoolhouse, and converted that to a little home. Their own, and worked. They had a half acre, and they planted some dwarf fruit trees, and worked a garden. And she baked. They had outside water. Ultimately, put in an electric pump and ran some inside water, cold water only, and had an outhouse. And I spent my summers down there for years. And, so, welcome aboard. So, oh my goodness, we missed 420. All that. And I got another split here. So I think I'm going to spark it up. H7. How about we burn something together? Okay. Looks like you have subscribed to my channel. we'll just say I was waiting for you, age 7, and I was late. I was, yeah, wink, wink. Tesla stock is nicely up since last week. I think we're 230. Let's get pretty faded already. I make a point of staying out of the sun. Oh, that's good. Glad I lit the second one. So I don't know that I have much more to talk about. Hate to, hate to cut you off since you just got here, age 7, but you had 10Ks with the Tesla at one time. Needed relocation, and Tesla was underperforming. 330 spring, the mid 2s. Yeah, hey. I'm sorry I pulled out of the market when Trump became president. I put everything in a mutual fund. Should have stayed where I was. I never thought it would skyrocket. I thought everything was going to end in the toilet. But then it's not over yet. So we'll see what happens. Of course, I didn't look at my most recent statement either. So you promoted it, but you didn't buy it. Oh. Yeah. Can't be doing that. Well, I think I'm going to call it quits here, folks. So, see you next time. And as usual, funny about peace, love, and understanding. Come back next week if you can.